There's really been a big push in the real estate industry for agents to establish teams. A lot of companies have become identified as team centric or team encouraging. The number of agents using listing coordinators, transaction coordinators, marketing coordinators, runners, buyer's agents, listing assistants, and listing agents has really increased dramatically over the last few years. And I was one of the first agents in my sales area in Portland, Oregon to elicit the help of assistants to build a larger and better practice. So I've watched this evolution happen for almost 20 years. I mean, I hired my first assistant before I completed my first year in real estate sales, and I added more administrative help and more sales help through buyer's agents into my second year in the business. Now, I speak from a position of experience from making tremendous amounts of mistakes in those early years of hiring and firing and accountability and time management and organization and structure and implementation and system development. I made every mistake you could possibly make because I was inventing, as well as a number of other agents, the systems and strategy for teams. The building of a great team is much more than hiring a few people. It's much more than hiring a few great people. The initial steps start really with you. Having coached and trained hundreds of thousands of agents and thousands who had teams, I found that the most successful agents don't approach establishing their team with the right steps in the proper order. They really muddle through it. And to achieve lasting success in business, it's not enough to know the steps that you need to take. The right steps in the wrong order will lead to disaster as well. You might be able to fend off a looming catastrophe a little longer if you've got the right steps with the wrong order, but it's going to come anyway. Conversely, the right order with the wrong steps will send you crashing into the rocks as well. So the application of correct order and correct steps is the only way to circumvent disaster and take advantage of the opportunities that avail themselves in the marketplace. So a team will not make up for your deficiencies in what I call the core skills that you may have as an agent and have to have as a highly successful champion agent. This core skills in real estate in terms of time management and prospecting and sales skills and qualifying and presentation skills, both for buyers and sellers, objection handling skills and closing skills. On a larger scale, your skills that directly connect and link with lead creation, lead conversion, and prospect commitment must really be at the champion agent level before I believe you can even hope to build a champion team. You'll be rarely able to hire people who possess these skills to come to work for you if you don't have the skills yourself, and you'll have to instill and train those skills in most of the rest of the others that you ever would want to hire. So recognize that your individual personal skills, personal productivity is really the most valuable asset that you have in your business. And you're trying to leverage those personal skills and personal productivity to a greater extent as you're building the team. Most agents, when building a team, let their direct income producing activities slide. Their DIPA, as I call them. DIPA activities like prospecting and lead follow-up and listing appointments and role-playing and buyer interviews, showing property, writing, negotiating contracts. Personal development time is also a DIPA activity. Of all those connected activities, all those connect directly with income, and that's why I call them DIPA, or direct income producing activities. The tendency for most agents when establishing teams is really to reduce their hours in DIPA. The section of DIPA that really gets hit hardest is the prospecting and lead follow-up. And for many agents, when bringing on staff to expand their team, these two activities, both prospecting and lead follow-up, almost cease, which is the reverse of what needs to happen. There are two core reasons why the prospecting and lead follow-up drop heavily when an agent is working to establish or even expand their team. And the first is that they want the team to do the prospecting and the lead follow-up for them. They want the team members to do all the prospecting and the lead follow-up so they don't have to ever do them again. Now, too many agents want a team so they can avoid prospecting. That is the wrong reason to create a team-based business. If you manage to hire somebody who's exceptional at prospecting, it won't take them long to figure out how they can go out on their own. They can easily calculate how much money they're bringing into the team, and when the number gets large enough that they feel they can make more on their own because they know how to generate leads, they'll move down the road or across the hall or become your newest competition or competitor within the marketplace and have inside information about you and your business in doing it. Now, you can't stop the practice of prospecting your sources of business ever. In fact, you might have to increase your prospecting time to increase your volume of leads to ensure the cash flow to help capitalize your new growth and new team. The second core reason prospecting and lead follow-up drop is because there's a new focus that we all have in building this team on system development and increased management responsibilities. Now that you're adding staff because you're building a team, whether you're administrative staff or sales producing staff, some of your time needs to be invested and devoted to monitoring, managing, and coaching those people. You'll need to establish checklists and task lists and priority lists and job descriptions and many other items that fall under the buzzword of systems in our business. If only we could just download all the skills and knowledge and information we've acquired in the business in minutes to a new staff member by connecting a cable between our brains and hitting the download button, we'd be all thrilled. Too many agents have the view that this is driven by their ego, that the larger the team that they have, the better, the more they can download to other people. What I will tell you is, in my view, bigger doesn't mean better. With every person you add to the team, you increase the management, the monitoring, personnel problems, and personal problems that come to work. Interstaff politics goes up, dramatic distractions go up, and disruptions grow up. My grandmother, Bobby, brilliant lady, had a saying about productivity and people that I must have heard 1,000 times, and it was about kids. It was, at work, one boy is a whole boy, 2 boys are a half, and 3 boys are no boys at all. Meaning that if you get too many people, little boys, doing work, you get no work at all. If we're only focused on the volume of people and size of the team, we can end up with no team at all. The added staff members enable you to provide a higher level of service to your clients. That's recognized and certainly appreciated by your clients if it's done well. That added service can lead and expand. And with consistent prospecting and a marketing approach that's consistent, you increase your referrals and strategy and overall performance as well. The added staff should directly increase revenue because they are salespeople. Now, examples of this certainly would be buyer's agents or listing agents on your team, but the added staff creates a better quality of life for you as well. You relinquish lower value activities, increasing your time off, frequency of vacations, making it to more T-ball games and date nights. However you define quality of life, it's improved. More of anything in life for the sake of more doesn't achieve the result of success necessarily. If you have a poor business model with a low volume of leads, more staff will only bring to light your poor business model and lead deficiencies faster because your cash flow and net profit is out of whack. Make sure that you remain focused on lead generation and lead conversion as the lead agent in your team as you're building and expanding your team. Don't ever relinquish those positions. Those are the positions that pay the best, generate the most revenue, as well as the highest net profit for you and your company. At the end of the day, you can't delegate, can't get away, and can't give those to anybody else. They can help and support you, but they can't do them 100% for you.